Welcome to Ocean County Focus. I'm Donna Flynn, your host. Joining me today is Ocean County Commissioner Joseph H. Vicari, who's serving as the Director of the Board of Commissioners for 2023. Happy New Year, Commissioner, and thank you so much for joining me today. You are Director of the Board for 2023, but you are also the longest-serving freeholder/commissioner in the state of New Jersey. So you have seen numerous changes throughout the years. Let's talk a little bit about that first. What sort of changes have you seen in your 40-plus years on the board?
Well, I think the most important thing right now, we went through many growing pains throughout not only Ocean County, but the state of New Jersey. And looking back over the last 5 decades, we've seen tremendous growth in Ocean County, basically because of the Garden State Parkway, affordable housing for families. And it was very family-oriented. We had good schools, and I know that as an educator in Ocean County for many years and as a superintendent. And people wanted to come to Ocean County. It's a beautiful county. It was safe. We had 44 miles of the greatest ocean line that you could find any place else in the United States. We had Barnegat Bay, but there were things to do, whether it be the park system or whatever. And people don't realize that Ocean County, one of 21 counties in the state of New Jersey, encompasses 10% of the state. And it's really a big county.
That's a large county.
It's a large county. And when I first came here, we called it the country. Now we can see the population growth because of the fact people want to come to Ocean County. Right now, today, as I speak, it's 680,000 people winter. Summertime, 1.3 million people. And now a lot of the people that came, during the summertime are staying over. Because they can do a lot of work at home. And they really like and enjoy Ocean County. But I think over the years, the challenges that we met and we dealt with, one of the biggest ones was the growth of people coming to Ocean County, many people. And then, of course, we had to deal with the superstorm, which was a tragic throughout the United States. It was one of the worst storms that we had in history. Then after the superstorm, we had, of course, many downturns and ups in the economy. But right now, we're going through the COVID-19, which is a serious problem for the last 3 years. And one of the things that we always told the people of Ocean County, we provide services. And not only do we provide quality services, many services that other counties throughout the state of New Jersey do not give, but we get results. For an example, you come to the library system where right now we have 21 branches. We have one of the best systems in the state of New Jersey. We're the only ones that have a sensory room in 2 of our libraries. We have a great park system, the largest road system in the state of New Jersey. And I can go on and on about the vocational school, Ocean County College. We have a Department of Consumer Affairs to protect our consumers. And one of the greatest ones that I really like to talk about, senior services. We have 200,000 senior citizens in Ocean County, and they worked hard all their lives. They came here, they retired, and they just want to really enjoy life. And seniors are no longer 80, 85, they're 90, 95, and over 100 years old.
Yes, there is definitely a longevity that you're working with now.
They went through the greatest generation people, Depression, World War II, the Korean War. And all they want to do is to pay their bills and live comfortably. And that's why we work hard with the Department of Senior Services. So I'm really proud of the fact of all the years that I've served, the 42 years on the board. At one time I was called a freeholder, even that changed. And they changed it last year to a commissioner. But no matter what you call it, we manage 33 different towns. And being a county commissioner today, I'm very sensitive to the fact that each town is very unique. And we have home rule in the state of New Jersey, which means each of the counties have their own towns, and we have 33. And I work with each of the 33 towns and make sure we keep the character of that town. They have their own planning board, their own development way of doing things. And we've been very, very successful. One of the things that we work on, of course, people come here for tourists. And most of the tourists that come here eventually do one thing. They purchase a house in Ocean County because it's substantially cheaper than other parts of the state of New Jersey. So I look forward to a great year. We have great members on the board. I'm one of 5 members on the Board of Commissioners. We work together, we collaborate with our past experience. I'm very fortunate to be in education for years, a former mayor of Dover Township, now it's Tom's River. Even that changed.
Absolutely.
I think one of the things that you have to do as a public official today is to realize things change. But the rate of change is so substantially faster now than ever before in history. I mean, Ocean County came into existence in 1850. I don't think there's been more changes. That's not just every decade, but every year. It changes, it's different. I mean, if you walk down Main Street, you can see the changes that are taking place. And people thinking differently, they're doing things differently. But again, it's a great place to live, to work, and to retire. So I really enjoy the opportunity the people of Ocean County gave me in electing me as a county commissioner.
Well, and for 40 years, clearly they have been very happy with the service that you have been providing to them in this county. Clearly, when you talk about, and you just gave a really good overview of all the things happening in Ocean County. One of the things I wanted to chat with you about too is, when you talk about the budget, the Ocean County, the Board of Commissioners, as they start to work on the budget for 2023, what do you see? Because you have a lot of residents now that are very concerned about things like inflation and gas prices and food prices. So how does the Board of Commissioners, while you can't change that, how do you assist people when it comes to the finances of the county?
Well, the county finances are very important. One of the things, of course, is a tax rate. And this is the 7th year in a row that it's going to drop.
Okay.
And you say, well, there's more and more people, there's more and more services, but we managed to make sure that we control spending. That's one of the most important things as far as the tax rate goes in Ocean County. Everyone realizes one thing: the prices are going up. Inflation is terrible.
Right.
It impacts everyone, from senior citizens to the average working man and woman that's in Ocean County, to buying things. The hardest thing for them to do right now is to purchase food. They see it every single week. The housing market is suffering right now. At one time, it was affordable. So the quality of life has to be maintained.
Sure.
And it's getting harder and harder. And what do we do on the Board of Commissioners? The first thing is different services. For an example, the college is reasonable, Ocean County College.
Right.
And we have partnerships with other universities. The vocational school. Right now, the library system is totally free. There's 21 branches.
Right.
We have a great park system that people can use. And we try to have a balance in the services, whether it be open spaces or anything else that we do, because people just don't have the extra few bucks in the pocket like they did years ago.
Absolutely.
And it's difficult. They go into a store to feed their family, to put food on a table. It's more money, and the packaging is smaller.
Sure.
And healthy food is expensive.
Absolutely.
And we try to teach them, and by example, to look, this is what you should do and everything else.
Right.
But it's unfortunate when a person works real hard in their job, and they can't put food on the table.
Absolutely.
And they can't take care of their children. And they want to send them to the best of schools. And that's why our school system is very important to the average working person. And we're all average working people right now today in the county. But it's something that we experience not only in Ocean County, but throughout the state of New Jersey and throughout the United States. So we're going through some difficult times.
Sure.
I ask people to have faith in government, to get involved, to volunteer, and become part of the process. What I try to do as an educator is get younger people, different types of people, involved in the government process.
Sure.
Because I learn something every single day.
Absolutely.
I don't have all the answers, and we realize that. So it's very important for us to get younger people involved, and especially in different professions. I mean, right now in the county, it's hard to get people to work for the county.
Right.
They come in, they want certain things that, again, we have to answer the taxpayers. We can't do.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
private industry is taking county employees. And it's not just in the county, it's private industry, such as the hospitals and medical services.
Right.
I mean, you go to any hospital, you go to any medical institution or a nursing home, it's very difficult. And I always encourage people, go into the medical profession. For
Absolutely.
example,
Yep.
I think one of the most noblest ones I can think of right now is nursing. It's hard to get a qualified nurse.
Sure.
They finish school, they come to Ocean County, and sometimes they go to other places that pay more money. And I don't blame them.
Right.
Okay, they want to be more proficient, and
Right.
there's more opportunities. But the nursing profession is a very noble profession. I think it's something that we need because we have 200,000 senior citizens. The medical profession is changing rapidly, whether it be in hospitals or medical services. And you have to keep up with new technology, which is very difficult to do. And sometimes people don't want to do it. So we have a shortage in Ocean County, just like the rest of the state of New Jersey.
Sure.
There is a serious shortage of people who have skills,
Right.
people that need qualifications,
Right.
and you need a certain skill set
Sure.
for certain professions, depending on what it is.
Absolutely.
And you need certain personalities to do certain things. Not everyone can do everything.
Right.
So it's not just the plumber, the carpenter, the electrician in the services. I think it's right across the board, from nurses to qualified teachers to mechanics. I mean, everything that you can think of today, we need more people to go into the workforce.
Right. We're actually going to take a quick break, and we're going to be right back here on Ocean County Focus.
The Ocean County Board of Commissioners. Working to make Ocean County a better place to call home. And a special place to visit.
Welcome back to Ocean County Focus. Joining me today is the Director of the Ocean County Board of Commissioners for 2023, Joseph H. Vicari. Joe, when we went to break before, we were talking about, the challenges that the county has been through, growth and that sort of thing. And one of the areas that you have been involved with for many, many years is the programs and services that are available to the senior citizen population in Ocean County. You have over 200,000 seniors living in Ocean County. I believe almost 30,000 plus are 85 and older. Talk about the programs that are available for seniors from the county.
Well, we have not only a growing senior program, but even the caregivers. And it's very important to us. And what's been happening as they get older and older as time goes on, we want them to live healthier.
Sure.
With dignity and independence.
Absolutely.
And our goal is one thing, keep them in their homes.
Right.
And we've tried everything possible to do so. I think one of the programs we have that's not only in the state of New Jersey, I think nationally, is our food program,
right.
Home delivered meals. Mm-hmm. Fortunately, right now we don't have a waiting list because we put more and more money. Even now, when we're talking about it recently this week, we put more money into it than the state and federal governments.
Right.
And we realize the importance of it. Mm-hmm. Costs are going up, transportation is going up, but a nutritional meal is very important to our seniors.
Sure.
And as Americans, we have an obligation to provide for those that are less fortunate. And we're doing that. As best we can, but it's getting harder and harder. And we want our seniors to know that we will deliver it to their homes. We check on their health and how they're doing, personal contact.
Sure.
And there are a lot of seniors that, the spouse has passed away, there's no communication with their families. So the only person they see all day is the person delivering the food.
Right.
They call it Meals on Wheels or home delivered meals.
Right.
We have congregate centers also, that's increasing substantially, but a lot don't have the ability to own a car or to drive and transportation going back and forth.
Right.
So we do that in two different ways. And our main problem right now, even what we're doing this week, is to award $7.5 million in contracts, to 25 contracts, to make sure that money comes in as soon as possible. But food is extremely important to me personally, to make sure no one goes hungry. In the greatest nation in the world, no one should go hungry, especially our senior citizens.
Right.
The next thing we're going to put a lot of money into, we had a needs assessment, is housing.
Right.
A lot of seniors need a ramp to get into the house.
Right.
Many need modifications and renovations to their kitchen and to their bathrooms. They were built many, many years ago, over 40 years ago, so those improvements are necessary. So we're putting those programs in as we speak.
Right.
We have them, but we're going to expand those programs. The next one, of course, is getting information out.
Outreach.
At the outreach programs, very important. They don't realize the pharmaceutical programs we have.
Right.
And many are getting their drugs and cutting them in half. They don't realize the assistance, especially in the last 2 years. A lot of assistance on pharmaceutical products.
Sure.
Nursing home products. Having a nurse come into their homes. And I continuously make an appeal to younger people and to middle-aged people that, something, there's a lot of job opportunities out there.
Sure.
If you want to get involved in the medical industry, assisted living centers are for one, the senior centers are for another.
Sure.
The hospitals, always looking for people.
Absolutely.
Always looking for people.
Absolutely.
They will train you. The pay is increased substantially, and it's a good, noble thing to give something back.
Sure.
So those are the areas with the outreach programs that we look for continuously. Is a very important part of our economy. The senior citizens with their pension money coming in, with the medical services. The hospitals have definitely increased the different kinds of needs for our senior citizens.
Sure.
And especially right now with the COVID-19 for the last 3 years, and this is going to continue for a long time.
Right.
And we have to make sure we have the medical services that are available to them. At one time, they all wanted to go, well, let's go up North Jersey where we came from.
Right.
They can't travel there now.
Right.
And we have excellent medical services, the hospitals, the emergency rooms expanding, a great program in community medical center, for an example. They're doing a lot of good things and a lot of important things for our senior citizens. So we're aware of what's taking place. We have the money in place this year, but I need trained personnel.
Right. I mean, going back to even the home delivered meals program, I mean, that didn't skip a beat during COVID. I mean, you continued, or the county through its contractor or provider, continued to make sure that your seniors got those meals every day, even during difficult times with, COVID and viruses and that sort of thing. I mean, and now you're starting to see, and I wanted to mention actually some of the numbers. I mean, you're talking about delivering 325,000 meals in 2023. Those numbers are astronomical when you think about it. And clearly that program has expanded. And when you also talk about your congregate sites, you must be really happy with the idea that they are starting to reopen. So it was just recently that you provided 2,000 meals at those sites, and now they're up to almost 10,000 meals. How does that help your seniors with the idea that they can start to socialize again? What benefits comes from that?
One of the things I want to do this year is very important to me is socialization.
Right.
A lot of our seniors over the last 3 years lived in isolation.
Sure.
They're very lonely, especially during the holidays, whether it be Thanksgiving or Christmas or New Year's. They're all by themselves and not used to it. So we try to provide programs for that. But we try to do the best we can, but we need more people, more people to get involved. So that's been one of the priorities that we've been doing with our seniors. Another one, of course, we're trying to get a mobile unit to go to different areas. We work very closely with the Ocean County Board of Health, who does a great job. We have a program with the library system to bring books to their residents. But it is challenging, and there's no question about it. We're trying to meet those challenges the best that we can. We look for suggestions. I have some of the answers. I don't have all of the answers.
Sure.
But I really want to thank the people who deliver those meals every single day during COVID. They left their homes. They put themselves at risk. They traveled all over the county. We were told also they traveled so much. They put all the mileage together. They could travel around the world.
Really?
6 times.
Oh my gosh.
And it's hard to believe.
That's wild.
Those
That's
trucks
crazy.
are on the road, they're going to different places. They're putting their health at risk for senior citizens, for people.
But they really are such a lifeline for your seniors,
it's people helping people, neighbor helping neighbor. And that's why it's so important. For an example, if someone's delivering the mail, if they see the mail's not picked up for 3 or 4 days, what is the first thing they do? They call a different agency, or they call the police department. And the police have been fantastic in really being alerted to the fact and going to the house to make sure they're not injured or hurt in any way. So it's really working together. It's really a community effort in Ocean County, and that's why we're always so proud of the services. We get results, but we have to give a little bit more this year. We have to be a little bit more sensitive to our neighbors, not just in the senior communities, but throughout the entire neighborhood. But it's very, very difficult for people to get by in the next several years because of what's taking place. Again, the inflation, we're doing the best we can. There's nothing that we can do with inflation. The services in different stores, whether you go to a supermarket or any place else, you're waiting a little bit longer online. Try to get a serviceman to come to the house for anything else, especially right now with the cold season as far as getting heat in the house. And it's not as easy as it used to be. I hope this is just something for the next several years. I hope it doesn't continue for a long period of time. But we will be prepared for it. We're doing everything possible in Ocean County, but we just want people to know that it's a community effort. And the networking is very important. And the main thing we have to do, if someone needs help, let us know.
Absolutely.
Call up
the
senior citizens, call up, I would say the local towns also. A lot of them have a senior citizen program in their local towns. We have 33 towns. So instead of calling the county, they can call their local senior citizen agency, wherever it may be. And they're always willing to help out the local. And a lot of our seniors are really embarrassed sometimes to ask for help. And that's one of the things I said, look, why don't you make a phone call? It's not charity. It's something that we want to do. It's something that you're entitled to. I mean, you're a veteran American, you made a contribution, and now, as you get older, you need some help. And the help is there. And they want someone to talk to. They want someone to try to do the best they can. And we solve problems. And that's what's very important. Whether you're a senior, a veteran, a disabled person, whatever the case may be, there are people in Ocean County that are willing to help you.
And we're going to take another quick break. And we're going to be right back here on Ocean County Focus.
Ocean County Board of Commissioners, working to make Ocean County a better place to call home and a special place to visit.
With a winter storm approaching, it's best to be prepared. Major concerns to consider during a snowstorm include loss of power, broken water pipes, and unsafe road conditions. At any time you're using kerosene heaters to warm your home, please follow all the safety precautions to ensure a safe use. Please keep in mind, if it's too cold for you, it's probably way too cold for your pets. Please keep them indoors and only let them out to relieve themselves. This has been a message from the Office of Emergency Management. For any further information, please visit the county website.
And welcome back. Director Vicari, when we went to break, we were talking mostly about senior programs and the various programs that are available to them. Now, you have a number of departments that really play a key role in county government, one of which is tourism and business development. And I was wondering if you could tell me, what do you foresee as the future or for this particular tourism season coming up, and what is the value of tourism for Ocean County?
Tourism in Ocean County is over $7 billion a year just in Ocean County. And it generates not only a lot of money, but a lot of opportunities to a lot of people. 98% of all the businesses are small businesses, which is really a great thing. And they service the town, they're community-minded. And I think one important thing is that there's virtually no unemployment. That if you want to work, you can get a job, you could go into the tourism business or business development,
right,
one or the other. And it's found that if you work there several years, there's always an opportunity for you to start your own business. And that's the American dream. The economy is start your own business. But we've had an outstanding year this year in Ocean County,
right,
which is really good. It keeps everyone's taxes down, lower, no matter where you live of all 33 towns. They improved greatly after the superstorm. They upgraded everything. It thrives because of the fact that there's a lot of people that want to go into business for themselves.
Sure.
And in Ocean County, we give them that opportunity. There's 44 miles of great coastline. You have Barnegat Bay. You have a great county. It's a growing county. People come from all over the United States, and they spend money. That's a good thing.
Sure, absolutely.
Business is good.
Absolutely, yes.
And what we try to do is to create an environment where people can come and they can enjoy themselves. This year was one of the best years we ever had.
Right.
Everyone is doing well. Very few people can own a business and do poorly in Ocean County if you run it correctly. So we're proud to say it's tourism, it's business development, it's doing very, very well, and it's basically recession-proof.
Yeah.
Because what people are doing is they come into Ocean County, and that's one of the things that's good about Ocean County, being with this recession. We're in the middle of recession and inflation at the same time.
Sure.
So you have tourism, which is good, hospital and medical services, which is good. So they keep the economy going all the time.
Sure.
And what we try to do in county government, we try to create not only incentives, but we're there to help them.
Right, right.
For an example, if there's a problem and you open up a business, we have the Department of Consumer Affairs.
Right, I wanted to touch on that.
And Consumer Affairs is not just to check into violations, but it's to help a business.
Sure.
And when you go into a business, you know, for an example, a gasoline station, people don't realize we measure gasoline, we measure the air that you pay for, so it goes by volume. Virtually every business is managed or controlled in some way by the Department of Consumer Affairs.
Right, right.
We have one of the few counties in the state that have a Department of Consumer Affairs. We have a Department of Weights and Measures to make sure people are not cheated.
Right.
But we're there to help people.
Sure.
And if there's a conflict sometimes between a business and a consumer, we try to mediate it.
Absolutely,
But
absolutely.
during the superstorm, we found out some people came from all over the United States, and with home reconstruction, with renovations, they cheated people out of a lot of money.
Sure,
So
sure.
we made sure we did what we had to do as far as making sure they were prosecuted, working very closely with the sheriff and with the prosecutor's office and with the attorney general's office. So we want people to know that if you think you're being cheated, call the Department of Consumer Affairs. We represent the people. We are their advocate.
Right.
Even right now, sometimes with the utility companies, if there's a question, call the Department of Consumer Affairs. We're
Yes,
there to help them.
Certainly Ocean County's Department of Consumer Affairs is very active with the residents. You could see that. I mean, you often talk about even your buy local campaign that you do every year. That's also attached to Consumer Affairs because it's easier to work with returns and those sort of complaints if you're buying locally. And that kind of also goes back to the fact that you have the mom and pop stores, and that's what you want people to
Small
go
businesses
to.
are still the heart of what America should be. And I know there's Amazon and there's different places online, but the regular local retail store is very important to us. We want to keep the characteristics of the small town
Sure,
and
sure.
throughout Ocean County. So I think it's a combination of both. I think you can shop online, you can go to Amazon, and you go to your local store. I think it's all good. It's a good combination where you can get the best value possible. We always said competition is very important to us.
Sure.
So we want to be very competitive with all different areas. But it's your choice.
Right.
When you go someplace, you can go any place you want to, but you make that decision. It's a personal decision that each individual makes
Right.
when they go out to purchase something. Right now, as you know, we have a major program with the banking system.
Right.
So many brick and mortar local banks have closed down.
Right.
We said, wait, let's stop it. I mean, 33% closed. Enough, because some people do not want to go online.
Right.
They want to go inside. They want to talk to the teller. And sometimes, it's a gatekeeper. If there's any fraud that's taking place, a lot of small businesses, they have to go into a bank, a regular bank, to get change.
Sure.
Many times the ATM runs out of money.
Yep.
And you have to go someplace else.
Yep.
So what we're saying in Ocean County is, wait a minute with the banks. You can use technology, but still keep your brick and mortar place.
Sure.
For an example, downtowns, like in downtown Times Square.
Yep.
There are no banks that are open we can go into and talk to someone about a banking bill or
And
industry.
there was how many of them over the course of
over
time?
the
I mean, you
years.
had the major headquarters for First National, I believe, was down there, and there were so many of them.
You can go in, and if you deposit money, you can get a radio, you can
That's
get a
right,
coffee
a toaster,
pot,
that
a
never- yeah,
toaster.
no, you don't see
right?
that anymore.
You're
You get a
not going to see that
lollipop.
anymore.
It's
And that
true.
was interesting. It's not too long ago when you would get that.
Yep.
The banks would entice you. We are a community bank. Come
Yep.
on in. Come on
Yep.
down. And you don't see that anymore. It's a
Yeah.
very, very sad thing.
Yeah.
But those are just several things that we try to keep in Ocean County with the banking industry. We want to personalize it.
Right.
We want to make it a community bank.
Right.
And we hope the banking industry is listening, because that's what we want to do in Ocean County.
Right. We have about a minute left of this segment, so I'm going to ask you, and we're going to come back with you in a few weeks to do another show with the library and that sort of thing and other topics, but I just want to take a minute and have you address the constituents or your citizens. What does 2023 hold for them?
Well, I'm very optimistic. Okay, we are there to work with you. What I'm asking for is more people to volunteer. Would be the volunteer fire department, in nursing homes, in different buildings. Get out and just be a volunteer. It could be your church, it could be a civic organization, home delivered meals. We need more people to say, something, we want to participate in working with people. We realized for the last 3 years with the COVID, it was very difficult. People were afraid to get sick.
Sure.
There's no question about
Sure.
it. They had a mask and there was that potential. But right now, I think it's a good feeling to give something back to your county, to your township, and do it locally, your local areas. And you can make a difference. You can make a difference by really working and being a volunteer. And it's the hardest thing, because even in county government sometimes, we have different advisory boards
Sure.
that tell us what to do. We need people to volunteer. Very seldom now do I get a resume of someone saying, something, I really want to get involved in my town,
Right.
in my development to do something. Would it be medical services? And it doesn't have to be 20 or 30 hours a week.
Sure.
It could be just once a week.
Sure.
Just get out there and be friendly to your neighbors. Try to get to the neighbors. They haven't been out in 2 and 3 years
Yeah.
sometimes. And they're a little reluctant to go out sometimes because of the COVID-19. There's no question about it. It's going to be with us for a while. We have to live with it. We have to adjust to it. But you're here to be happy. And one way of being happy is to be with your neighbors and being with your friends and working together. So again, that's my message. We have a lot of county agencies. If you can't go on your computer, go to the County Connection. Go and see what we have to offer in Ocean County. It's a great place to live, and a lot of people that live here, they identify themselves saying, I live in Ocean County. And they have a lot of pride in what they do in
Sure.
Ocean County. And there's nothing as good as giving something back and working with our community, especially our seniors and especially our young people.
Director Vicari, thank you so much for joining us today. A very happy new year to you and your family, and a very happy new year to you and yours. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.